that's something they need to do more of. Maybe that's something they need to sort of to do to change how they play.
Okay, well, we're discussing Napoli, and obviously we're discussing Milan. So this is our their
So we're
two of
smashing
this.
them together because they played
Yeah, we're
each
going to
other.
put them together because they are the closest challengers, obviously, to Inter. They have the highest chances of really being the anti-Inter. But here's the thing that you mentioned, because that was actually going to be my next question. Napoli want to win their way. If they can't win their way, but they usually have opportunities, like even being able to bring on Lobotka, who is, let's say, better on the ball than, let's say, Demme. They do have, at least when you look at their bench, they have similar players, whereas what Milan has is a lot more versatility, different types of players, right? So what I do love about Milan is what they did in playing Kessie. I'm sorry, I forgot the game that they played now. Who they played?
Milan. They played Empoli.
Yeah, Empoli. Right, thank you. It is about, okay, let's see how we can try to stop Empoli from creating, because they are very good in that diamond shape, and they can produce, creativity in their midfield. Obviously, we've seen Barami and different players like Ricci making the difference. And I feel like putting Kessie there and allowing them that tactical variation and playing with a much more sort of like, this is who we are. We're going to be humble. We're going to try to neutralize the strengths of our opponent, even if they are Empoli. We're not going to say, oh, we're Milan and we're going to do what we usually do. We're going to take lessons and we're going to try to correct them. I don't know if Napoli do that. And if you're asking me in between the two, who's more likely to win, I think Napoli has a better squad. I think they have a better identity. I think they play much better football. But I think their ability to change Milan and understand the situation and reduce themselves or inflate themselves depending to what is asked could be the difference. Because against Spezia, do Napoli know how to really light up the different players that they have, or are they always going to try to win the Napoli way?
Yeah, and I mean, look, after that win over Milan, I thought, like, maybe this is better for sort of competitiveness at the top of the table. I think if you ask me sort of honestly who I think has more potential in their squad, I think it's Napoli. I think when everyone's there, I think that team's really, really good. And then immediately they lose and they end the year 7 points back of Inter. And you think, is that already too much with this Inter team playing as well as they are? I don't know what to say with that Napoli situation that slightly hasn't already been said, in as much as, Osimhen, yes, you're missing him desperately. I can't wait to see him back. He's a wonderful footballer. And then you sort of see he's starting to get back in training with his sort of protective headgear. And then he's got a social media post about being ready for the African Cup of Nations. And you think everyone in Naples must be tearing their hair out saying, no, like, you need to sort of stay here now and be ready for us. But he might not. And again, if you lose him, if you lose Anguissa, who's just back, if you aren't going to get Koulibaly back, if you aren't going to have these players, I think it's my faith in this team fades a lot. They still have some brilliant talent there. And I do think Zielinski has honestly been one of my top players in Serie A this season. I think he's been, even by his levels, hitting new ones. But there's too much in this team that is intermittent or inconsistent. I mean, it's just bad. We've talked lots about this season. My perception, I don't know if you share it, but certainly my perception that there's a really vast gap between the very bottom teams in Serie A this season and even the ones in the middle, like, your Salernitanas, your Cagliaris, your Genoas.